Hey everybody, welcome to the RunDot podcast. Today we are super excited to have a conversation with an inspiring athlete with a big race coming up. I'm joined by Nolan McKenna. Nolan just qualified to represent Team USA at the Ultra Marathon World Championships in New Delhi, India. He ran collegiately at North Central University and now coaches athletes with RunDot and uses RunDot as a foundation of his own training. Nolan, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Yeah, happy to be here. Yeah, doing great. How are you?
Good. We're going to get into all of your racing and training and all of that. But before I have to introduce myself quickly, I am Carrie. I'm also a runner. I'm an Olympian, a broadcaster, and your guide to the world of RunDot. We treat this show like any good workout. We're going to start with a warm-up question. Then we're going to settle into our main set conversation. And then we're going to wind things down and have Nolan answer an audience question on the cool down. So lots of good stuff today. So let's get after it.
This is the RunDot podcast, the running show that brings you world-class coaching with every conversation. Let's get started with today's warm-up.
All right, Nolan, our warm-up question. What is your favorite event t-shirt that you've gotten as a freebie from a race?
Probably the Run Disney event t-shirts. Like it's so fun to have like the characters, and like Run Disney is a pretty like kind of small, like close-knit group where like you're kind of in the know if you're doing Run Disney races, and it feels like a little bit more special where like some bigger races it's like, well, everyone has that shirt, but some of the like Disney races, like when you see a Disney race shirt, you're like, oh, hey, you do Run Disney too. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of different people run Disney too. Like it's not always the elite and really fast up front. It's people that are coming with their family members, and it's a pretty cool atmosphere. So yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I picked out one of mine. I just grabbed it quick. I don't know if you know Brave Like Gabe, but Gabe Grunwald, that is her foundation, and she was a professional runner, and she passed away of rare cancer, and I'm on the board of Brave Like Gabe, and I love it because she designed the shirts when she was still with us, and they're cotton t-shirts,
Amazing.
and they always have kind of a different logo, and they're fine to run in, but they're more like cozy and comfy, and when you think of Gabe, you can't help but think of being warm and cozy with her and hoping that we carry on our tradition. So that was my favorite race t-shirt and still is.
That's
it's
kind of
cool.
like, it's interesting to like kind of see the split of like race t-shirts that like you want to run in, or race t-shirts that you just want to wear casually. And it's like, I'm personally in the camp that like I kind of want to use my race t-shirts to like actually run and like train in. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. We're opposite. I like to be like in my PJs, and I wear a lot of times my running clothes to bed, but I will throw on like a comfy t-shirt over, like a sports bra that I'm going to wear the next morning, or a tank top or whatever. So there's all kinds of uses for those race t-shirts. And
that's what my wife does.
Does she?
Yeah, and she'll order in like a 2XL because that's like what she wears to bed.
It's like her
she'll
bed
get the
dress.
race t-shirt. Yeah, exactly.
That's I never thought of that. Like order a bigger size.
You don't have to get the exact size. You could just get a super big one, and it'll be maybe a little comfier. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to do that from now on. Well, anyway, audience members, we want to hear from you too. We're going to ask this question on all of our RunDot social media accounts. We're curious to hear what race t-shirt is in your closet, and maybe what size do you get? Do you get the right size to run in, or do you get a big nighttime t-shirt like Nolan's wife?
Let's go.
All right, let's head into the main set now. So Nolan, first things first, we want to talk about your upcoming race where you're going to get to wear the red, white, and blue. You are representing the U.S. at the Ultra Marathon World Championships. So you got to be pretty pumped.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, like it's been my goal, like basically as long as I could remember, to represent Team USA. And like ultra running has given me the opportunity to do that. Like it's a much less like kind of sought after spot just
Mm.
because no one really wants to run that far. But my kind of philosophy is like if no one else wants to do it, I'll do it. Like I'll be
Yeah.
the person to step up and run further than most people want to, if it means that I get to represent my country. And yeah, I'm so excited. Like that's kind of the whole reason I'm doing ultras.
Yeah.
That and a lot of other reasons, but like one of the big reasons is to be able to get that USA jersey, which is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So 50K, that's what you're going to be
Yep.
running.
Yep, 50K, which like really isn't too much different than a marathon.
Yeah.
It's like really accessible. Like if like so many people train for marathons, like
Hmm.
it's nothing. But then sometimes people get scared off by like the ultra.
Hmm.
31 miles is like you're taking one extra goo and that gets
Yeah.
you the extra 5 miles. Like it's super accessible. You slow down the pace to a little bit more of a party pace than that
Hmm.
marathon and just kind of cruise it out, and it's been amazing. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the terrain, though. I mean, you're going to go to India,
Yep.
and I don't know why I think of India being more like gravel roads and things like that, but not necessarily. So tell us
Yeah.
what the course is like.
Yeah, so my understanding, like obviously I haven't been there yet,
Hmm.
but my understanding it's like so it's in the capital,
Okay. Oh, so
so like
maybe not
it's a
gravel roads.
big, big city,
Yeah.
so it's a paved stretch,
Ah.
and it's a like looped, kind of like out and back course that
Okay.
we run multiple times, so it's like a 5K loop, so there's gonna be like tables and aid stations
Hmm.
every 5K that we could get our bottles, get our nutrition and stuff. And then I think we just do that like 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah, like mile and a half plus a little bit out, mile and a half back,
Yeah.
and just kind of doing loops. Yep, yep.
Wow, that isn't that. I mean, that is a lot of loops. So how many people are
Yeah.
in the field?
I actually don't know
Uh-huh.
exactly. So, I mean, um, yeah, if I had to guess, probably about 200 to 300.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
That'll be interesting. So when you run ultra world championships, they're the ultra, if it just says ultra, it's typically on the roads. If it's ultra trail, obviously ultra mountain, then it gets a little
Yeah.
more technical, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think it's like super set in stone or anything, but yeah.
Do you do trail running then as well?
Um, I dabbled in it a little bit, like last year.
Mm,
And like for me right now, it just was so much different from what I
yeah,
had done in the past that there is quite a bit of like a learning and training curve that like
sure.
I wasn't necessarily prepared for.
Yeah,
So I kind of went back to my strengths and like being able to utilize like all the history I have in running.
yeah.
I could utilize that a lot more on the roads than I can on the trails. Yeah.
Sure, sure. We're gonna get into your history in just a little bit,
Yeah.
but quick question a little bit about New Delhi again. So rumor has it the race was pushed back a little bit. It was originally at a different date. Tell us a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah, so originally it was supposed to be like December 7th, I think.
Hmm.
And then due to air quality, it got pushed
Oh,
back.
okay.
So like yeah, the air pollution in that part of the world is like very severe, so they
Yeah.
deemed it at an unhealthy, unsafe level to like host. So then
Mm,
they pushed it back later in the year, which that really worked out great for me because me and my wife had a baby. Or my wife had a baby. We have a baby on November 29th. So that's been amazing. But
oh,
at the time, I had to like pass up my spot because I'm like I'm not going to miss the birth of my son to
right.
go on this trip. But now that it's been pushed back, like we're making things work. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
how's he
been
doing?
really good. Yeah, he's doing really good. He's growing. He's like doing all the things. I mean,
Yeah.
right now he's about 2 months.
Mhm.
Still just kind of a little sack of potatoes, but
Oh, so
that's all
fun.
they need to do. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and sleeping at all the wrong times.
Yeah, yeah. He's actually pretty good with the
Is
sleep,
he?
but
Good,
I
good.
mean, relatively.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is kind of that time, like, 6 to 8 weeks, I always feel like is where everyone is like, okay, now I could feel that I haven't slept very much in the last 2 months.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's one thing getting a bad night's sleep like 1 or 2 days,
Yes.
but it's much different when it's like cumulative, like month
Right.
and month and month. Like I
Right.
look at my Garmin like sleep scores,
Uh-huh.
and I think my average for the past like 8 weeks is like 52.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been getting better. I've been
Yeah.
hitting a couple of 70s lately, so
Okay.
that's a much, much better spot. But yeah,
Well, enjoy every minute of it. But
yeah,
because before you know it, your baby will be 10.
yeah,
And like my youngest is now 10. I have everyone in double digits. And I'm like, how in the world? It goes so fast.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, let's talk about qualifying then. Tell me a little bit about the qualification. How does that work?
Yeah, so you could qualify at any certified course.
Okay.
There's like a time window and stuff. So as long as you run a qualifying time in that time window, then you
Mm-hmm.
could go. And there's only a certain number of spots. So like you have to be kind of at the higher end of the kind of pecking order.
Yeah.
Or there's a couple other ways, like if you've like ran at like a previous world championship and kind of placed high there, or if you've like won the USA championships,
Okay.
then you get like an auto spot and you could be at like a higher level. You could also qualify as like from the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've run under, I think it's 222 in the marathon,
Okay.
like you could not even have run 50K before.
Oh,
But if you've run fast enough in the marathon, they'll just kind of use that kind of conversion, kind of like how you could qualify for the marathon trials with
yeah.
a half marathon if it's fast enough. But yeah,
I
yeah.
see. I see. So how did you qualify?
I qualified in a 50K. So I qualified at the Chicago Lakefront 50K, which
Okay.
is an amazing race. And it's like growing, but
Yeah.
it's super fun. It's like a smaller race. It's normally there's about 150 people that run it. But that kind of builds for a like close knit kind of community group. But it's along the Chicago lakefront, and you run like five-ish miles out, five-ish miles back, and you do that 3 times. So
Oh.
it's like perfectly flat along the Chicago lakefront trail, paved the whole way, and it's awesome. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's awesome. So when they push the race back,
yeah.
where did they kind of have to start from scratch with new athletes, or did they kind of come to because were you originally going to run the race, but then with the arrival of the baby, you decided to not run it?
Yeah, so yeah, basically that's kind of what happened.
Okay.
But because it's also in India,
Mm-hmm.
there were empty spots. So like my
Oh, it's a
spot
yeah,
that I qualified for was just left open.
I see.
So like when they got postponed and I said, "Hey, I want to run again," then
Mm,
like they were able to just kind of give me my spot back. Where I think like if it was somewhere else, maybe a little closer to the US and kind of more people wanted to go, then maybe that spot would have been taken. But lucky for me,
I
my
see.
spot was
Yep.
just sitting there waiting for me. Yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter how you get on that team, you got on that team. So tell
yeah,
me a
yeah,
little bit about how you said that, sleep hasn't been great, but life
yeah.
is so fun when you have a brand new baby. So you kind of can like fake your way a little bit. How's the
Yeah, yeah.
training changed? Have you had to adapt a bit, or are you able to still get in most of your training?
Yeah, I mean, I've still been getting in most of my training. Like the great thing about like RunDot
Hmm.
is the kind of philosophy of like less time, better results. So
Mm,
it's not like I was like when I was in college running 100 miles a week, just putting in hours and hours and hours of like mileage. It's kind of a lot like more fine-tuned with things.
hmm.
But yeah, I mean. The big one, like especially with ultras, I feel like is the long run. If I could nail a long run every single week and everything else is just kind of like easy, then I feel like I'm still in a decent spot.
Yeah.
But I put a big emphasis on long runs.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you only do one long run a week, or do you have like a long one and then a medium?
So like currently, I just have one long run. In the past, like I just came off a 50-mile training block.
Okay.
In that one, I was doing back-to-back long runs every single
I see.
week.
I see.
But the reality of having a newborn at home, like I'm not gonna be gone for 2+ hours on both
Yeah.
weekend days. Like it just seems a little unfair. So yeah, I just wanted to like have that good balance.
Sure.
But currently just doing one long run. But yeah.
Oh, fine. Okay, we're gonna get more into your training and your coaching in a sec, but I do
Yeah.
have one question. Have you gotten your Team USA kit yet?
I have not. So
Oh,
kind of
it's
like
so
with
fun.
kind of with the shift and me being kind of a late addition,
Hmm.
I'm still waiting, but hopefully it comes soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like crazy how much stuff you get for
Yeah,
one
yeah.
race.
Yeah.
You'll have all these options of what to wear. Like, are you going to wear the speed suit? Are you going to wear, like the shorty shorts? Will you wear whatever, 3/4 length tights or just your shorts? Like all the things.
Yeah.
And then everyone will want a piece of it. So you got to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure you don't give too much away until you're ready to.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll probably get a bunch of pins. Have you ever been on a US team before?
No, I've not.
Oh,
The closest I have been, just like a couple months ago, I work at a running store and like the company On does like
yep.
they call it squad race.
Okay.
So I was part of like our team that we qualified in Chicago, and then they had like kind of a world championships down in Miami.
Mm.
A bunch of teams, like the winning team from a bunch of cities around the world, got to go to Miami and do the squad race. So it's a relay race. There's two guys, two girls, and you are. We were running in a parking garage, so it's about like a 400-meter like course and stuff, and you're sprinting through a parking garage. It's like super hype. The event is amazing, such high energy. But for that one, so there was like Chicago, there was LA, there was Toronto, Montreal,
Hmm.
and then Mexico City. There was a Brazil team. Um, and I know I'm missing someone, but a couple of other teams. But we had
Yeah.
some pin trading, but that was like the most fun part of the entire experience. So like
Oh,
to get to like talk with the other people on the teams and like get to
sure.
know them, like that was super fun, and I'm really looking forward to doing that this time around too. But yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have a blast. I wonder how long the flight is. Do you know? Have you looked into that yet?
It's like 19 hours, yeah.
Woohoo!
Depending on if like we're doing like a layover or
Yeah,
anything like that. But yeah, super long.
it is long. I flew to Japan and Russia for a couple world championships when I was racing,
Yeah,
and it's further than that. And that, yeah,
yeah,
you're gonna feel it, but it
yeah,
it goes quick. I mean, my latest thing, and I don't know if I should be the one. I don't take much for any kind of like medicine or anything like that, but I do now when I travel overseas, I take one Tylenol PM
okay,
and then I
yeah,
fall asleep. And then I sleep for a good 4 or 6 hours and then I'm up. So, if you need
yeah,
something, maybe a melatonin or something, but
yeah,
you'll be ready for some good sleep, I'm sure, just because you
yeah.
you haven't
Yeah,
had a ton of it
that's
lately.
part of the training. I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't need to adjust to any time zones because I am on no time zone right now.
Yeah.
I am constantly awake, so yeah, I'm gonna have
Yes.
great sleep. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah, you'll have to, credit the baby for that. That's for sure. So let's talk a little
yeah,
bit about your coaching and again your training with RunDot. I mean, you now have been using RunDot personally, but also, you have liked it enough to now be a coach. So how did you
yeah,
find RunDot? How did you start, using the
yeah.
program and the app?
So I actually started on TriDot.
Oh,
So like post college, like I was doing some marathons and stuff, and long story short, like I just needed a break from just running.
Yeah.
So I went over to the triathlon side, and just as a coincidence, I bumped into who's my coach, Tony Washington.
Okay.
I bumped into him in the pool, and like we kind of got connected, and helped me like basically develop as a swimmer, and like that was awesome. So I was using TriDot for about like a year and a half,
Uh-huh.
just doing full on triathlon side of things. But
Wow.
eventually I'm like, I have some goals still left in running that I still feel like I need to pursue. So I kind of went away from triathlon a little bit and came back to running,
Yep.
because like running's always, I'm a runner. I
Yeah.
was a runner who was doing triathlon, not a triathlete. But so I came back to running, and switched over to RunDot, and
Okay.
yeah, just some pretty big differences in like what my training was like in college and high school and everything, to what I'm doing now. But at the end of the day, like uh, I'm in the camp that believes like you put in the work, you put in the
Hmm.
consistency, and I think there's a lot of different avenues to get to where you want to go. But TriDot or RunDot is been a great avenue to like allow me to have a good balance between like training and life, and now a
Hmm.
baby and a family. But yeah.
So that I think is important for people to hear, like why you would tell someone to use RunDot. I mean, you obviously could do the training on your own or seek people that could help you write workouts. Um,
Yeah.
but you've kind of gotten to this new age and you have a coach on top of it. But
Yeah.
like talk a little bit about the why someone might be like, no, I don't know if I need something generated for me. I want to have the old school way. Why would you say come on over
Yeah.
to the
I
AI
mean,
side of things kind of type thing?
yeah, essentially like it's the time aspect is a huge thing.
Like, what do you mean
And
by that?
just so like how much time you're needing to put into training. So like
Uh-huh.
for example, like in college I was running 100 miles a week. I was doing core, I was doing strides, I was doing like all the things. And
Yep.
all in all, I was probably putting in like 15 hours a week of training. Like now training, and that was training for like a 5K or an
Uh-huh.
8K. And now like training for a 50K, much longer. You might think, oh, I need to put in 25 hours a week of training, but that's
Uh-huh.
not really not the case. When I kind of peak out at some of my big weeks, I'm at like 8 to 10 hours a week.
Okay.
So which is much more manageable than
Yep.
trying to just hammer the time and hammer the mileage.
Mm.
Um, and just like the timing and simplicity of things is like really nice. So um, RunDot does the kind of philosophy like fast before far.
Uh-huh.
So in previously, like most training philosophies give you this like big block of like base training.
Uh-huh.
And then you kind of do some speed, and then you sharpen down and kind of fine tune things for race day. RunDot almost kind of flips that in reverse. So you work on your form and efficiency first, and then only when it comes to like the weeks leading up into that race and that kind of preparation phase, that's when you build the endurance. Like the
Mm.
idea that like the actual physical endurance to get you to like be able to run the distance efficiently, um like that comes pretty quickly. Like
Sure.
people like go from a couch to marathon in 18 weeks, and you
Mm-hmm.
could do that. Like building the endurance comes really quickly. What doesn't come quickly is you're changing your form, changing your efficiency, and building that efficiency in your stride to be able to run the paces that you want to run. So like a
Interesting.
big portion of the training is focused on exactly that, like building that efficiency
Mm-hmm.
before you even start to think about like building the endurance to like train for the race. So
Hmm.
like that's a big thing where like you don't have to like pound out a ton of miles, but you could work out like the efficiency and form and build your like VO2 max and lactate thresholds and build all that stuff without having to do like too much volume, which is
I
really
see.
nice. Yeah.
And you're running the 50K, which is,
Yeah.
yeah, you said it's not much further than the marathon, but how
Yeah.
does that work with RunDot? Do you have to add, like, tell us a little bit more how you get in your mileage? And I know that you said you had a 50-mile week, but is that your
Yeah.
biggest week that you have with RunDot, getting ready for, we hear of athletes now that run 150 miles a week at the
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
level or at this level that you're at. So,
Yeah.
how
I
do you
mean,
do
so
that with
Kurt,
off of 50 miles a week for 50K?
well, so like when I said I am coming off a 50-mile training block, I that was a 50-mile race that I was training for. So currently my mileage is
Ah,
probably about like 60 miles a week. And
okay.
in that training block, I did a 50 miler, and that race went really, really well. So it actually
Awesome.
feels like I'm coming down in distance. Funny enough, like I'm coming back to like mid distance with the 50K, but yeah, like having that experience. So like a big part of my last training block was back-to-back long runs, and I would
Okay.
just try and like add up like the mileage in both long runs and try and I think I peaked out at like 56 miles in a weekend.
In a weekend, not in
So
a week, in
yeah,
a weekend.
yeah, yeah. So and I peaked out that week. I was like 105 miles for the
Okay.
week. But it's pretty easy to get up there in mileage when you two of your days are
Mm-hmm.
20, 25 plus. So
That's
mileage
wild.
adds up really quickly. But one thing like RunDot like looks at is like they're training you to be able to run for like a certain like amount of time, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a distance. Like
Mm-hmm.
your body can't really tell distance,
Yeah.
but it could know how long you're doing the thing for. So it's
Right.
like I'm training to run for about 3 hours at a pretty hard intensity, and hopefully a little bit less than 3 hours. But
Mm-hmm.
if I could train that, then that's all I need to do. And I don't necessarily like need to have a huge amount of mileage in order to get that done. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are comparing your times before RunDot and after RunDot, can you do that? Like, can we talk
Yeah.
about that a little bit? How have they improved? Have they stayed the same with a little bit less mileage but
Yeah.
more intensity? Like, what have you seen different?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably pretty similar, but like the amount of time
Mm-hmm.
that I'm able to put in,
That's
like
cool.
if I had more time, I feel like I could be a lot better than I even was in college.
Okay.
But like working like multiple jobs and
Mm-hmm.
having a life and having a family, like I'm still able to pretty much hit the times I was hitting in college when I I was on easy mode back
Yeah.
in college. Yeah, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
That's cool. So let's talk about your collegiate career. So you ran at North Central College and
Yep, yep.
like tell us a little bit about that. Were you always a
Yeah.
longer distance guy? Were you a middle distance guy, then kind of found your way to the long stuff as you got
I
older?
mean, I kind of floated in between. So like in high school, I was like mile, 2 mile,
Hmm.
and like I was pretty successful in high school. And then originally I went to Iowa State right out of high school.
Hmm.
So like that's where I first went, and honestly, I had kind of a rough experience there. Like I got injured my senior year of high school and was kind of never able to like overcome that hurdle of
Oh.
like kind of feeling like I was behind. Um, and yeah, it was like kind of a tricky situation of
Mm.
like navigating the transfer portal and everything. But I knew I wanted to be somewhere where like regardless of my performance, I would
Hmm.
be like accepted into this family and this team.
Yeah.
And North Central was that like community for me. So
Cool.
like Al Curious was our coach. He was like the best, amazing, most energetic, like just life and blood of the sport kind of guy.
Oh.
Like he was amazing. And yeah, so I went to North Central. I was there for 3 years. I did 2 years at Iowa State.
Hmm.
So like coming out of Iowa State, I did have a lot of like race anxiety and kind of stuff like that. A lot of kind of like baggage in terms of training. So it
Okay.
did take me a while to like kind of get that off my shoulders and stuff.
Mm,
And even sometimes still, I don't feel like I've completely left all of that behind of
mm,
like race anxiety and just like
sure.
um anxiety and depression and kind of all those things. Like it is something that I feel like is under talked about and underrepresented in our sport of like we probably should talk about like how training and how racing affects us personally and emotionally. I think we should talk about that a lot more. Um, but it did take me a little bit to kind of get over that. But like I actually didn't even make the top 10. I went from running at a D1 program to not making the top 10 at the D3 level. And we did like win nationals and we set like a points record that year of like widest win margin. But I wasn't even in the top 10, but
Mm,
I was still so happy to just be a part of that team and be a part of like the culture. Like the team culture is such that like it doesn't matter if you're the first guy on the team or the
yeah.
last guy on the team. Like we win together, we lose together, and we did a fair amount of winning, which was awesome. So I didn't have like super big like personal success until about my fifth year,
Okay.
where that's when I finally made the top seven. I was our sixth runner on the day of cross country nationals, where we won. So the 3 years I was at Iowa State, we won cross country nationals all 3 years at the
Hmm.
D3 level.
So good.
And then I was part of a couple like track national teams too. Like we won one, and then we're second place a couple other times. But yeah, the track nationals that meant the most to me was my fifth year, where I was able to actually score and compete. So yeah, I was actually am blanking on what place I even
Oh,
was. Like
welcome to
that's
my world too. I'm like, I don't remember what that was.
I'm like, I
Fifth,
know it was
eighth, ninth,
second
I don't know.
going into the last 100, but then I got outkicked. How many people passed me? Um, but
It's okay.
yeah, so I think I was fifth in the indoor 3000. That
Okay.
was my best place, but like being able to like score points and like win for the team,
Mm-hmm.
like going into the final
So cool.
event, like our coach was like, hey, we just need a couple more points. And like me and my other teammate who was also running the 3K, we're like, all right, let's get it done. And
That's
we
cool.
like nailed it down for the team. So like regardless of what happened in the 4x4, like
Yep.
we had secured the win, which was just like such an amazing feeling. It was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think of like who was your superstar at Iowa State then at that time.
It was Drupal Patel.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Like
yeah,
trying
great
to think
guy.
if
Yeah, yeah.
who are the guys that like there's a couple out there right now and I'm just blanking on their names, but they're out there racing now on the roads.
Yeah, like Ryan Root is
Yep.
another one. Um, uh, Johnny Crane was a little bit
Mm-hmm.
before my time, but
Yep.
he was racing at a very, very high level. Yeah,
So you've had a
there's
lot of
a
guys
few more.
around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty cool like that you're honest with how hard the sport is.
yeah,
And also just I think because we are these athletes that are so goal driven and results driven, that even though we love it and we love the community and all of it, we can be really hard on ourselves. And I think not only athletes that are at D1 level or that are making US teams. It's athletes of all shapes and sizes, of all backgrounds. This can be, it's a humbling sport every single day. It's
yeah,
hard. Even your easy runs
yeah,
are hard.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's good to hear. And I'm sorry that you went through some dark times, but I also am like, yeah, like that's kind of what life is about is how we get through dark times. And I'm thankful you
yeah.
have the run because it seems to lift you up and bring you joy as well.
Yeah, yeah. And like our stories, like that's what makes us who we are. And I believe that like our challenges and our dark times like God gives us that as a way to connect to other people. So it's like
Yeah.
I went through something hard, so it's
Yeah.
kind of my job and my opportunity to kind of share that and help people through their dark times. Yeah.
For sure. And isn't it amazing the conversations you have on a run?
Yeah.
Like, there are times where you would never tell anyone, like, some of your deepest secrets, and you get out there on a 25-mile run or the next day when you're doing your second 25-miler, and everything just
Yeah.
kinda comes out. It is a lot of times I don't even know if it's a therapy session or if it's just that, we're just breathing and talking and it's coming out, but it is pretty
Yeah, for
special when
sure.
you have those
Yeah.
breakthrough moments, not only physically, but, like, spiritually and all of that. We
Yeah,
know that you have
amazing.
a
Yeah.
GoFundMe link to help raise money
Yeah.
for your trip, and we're gonna put this
Yeah.
on our pages. So talk a little bit about that, and then I wanna talk about Run Disney too as well, because you had a
Yeah.
kind of a fun weekend there.
Yeah, so like the GoFundMe was like really like I wouldn't be able to do this without that.
Mm,
Like traveling to India like is a pretty big expense with the flights, the
yep.
hotel, and having a new baby and my wife being on maternity leave that was unpaid. It's
Oh,
just like things are pretty tight.
mhm,
But like this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity that I
very
really
cool.
just can't pass up. So like leaning back on my community for that support has been amazing. I'm so thankful and so grateful for like all the people who have supported, but that's been like the biggest thing to kind of get us through this kind of squeeze point. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely
Yeah.
spread the word a little bit. It'd be fun to help you out.
Yeah.
Okay, Run Disney. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
which
like
one, like, kind of just tell us everything.
yeah, so I've done a couple different ones.
Mhm.
Like I've done like the springtime surprise. I've done that a couple times, but the big one was like the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, where I did the Dopey Challenge. So it's a series race, so it's 4 days of races in a row. Day one is a 5K, day two is a 10K, day three is a half marathon, and then day four is a marathon. So
And is that
yeah,
like
like
3 a.m.? It's before the park
yeah,
opens. So they like
yeah,
start
yeah.
a little earlier every day. Is that what they do?
No, I think most of them were like right at so I think the first 2 days were 5 a.m. and
5
then I
a.m.
think they shifted it up to 4:30
Okay.
for the other two.
Mm,
But our
that's
half
early.
marathon actually got kind of cut short due to weather. There were
Weather.
like some
Yeah.
pretty severe like thunderstorms. So like I did my normal like little warm up, and they shortened it to like a 7.2 mile race or something like
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
So I did that race, and then me and a couple other people who like were also doing the challenge. Like by day three, like you kind of knew the people you're running around.
Yeah.
So like we all ran parking lot loops to get to the 13.1 because it's like
Of course you did.
we signed up for the race. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the 13.1. It's not gonna be dopey challenge unless I do the full
Mm-hmm.
13.1. So and then but yeah, like racing all 4 days, like I've always been so jealous of like something like the Tour de France
Uh-huh.
where I really want like a stage race where like let's just race every single day. And like for me, like this is like one of the closest things to that where
Mm-hmm.
like you're gas burning every single day. Like to be able to like go wake up at 3 a.m. to start the race at 4. Um and like we were ripping sub 5 minute miles every single
So
day.
crazy.
Like it was super fun. But yeah, so like I was trying to like originally I was trying to sweep all of them. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't end up pulling that off, but
Okay.
I won the 5K, I was second in the 10K, I won the 7 mile, and then I was fourth in the marathon, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I almost set a PR in the marathon after racing for three
Oh
days,
my gosh.
which was awesome. So I know I have a lot left in the tank for like my marathon career. I think
Yeah.
maybe after this block I might go back and try and run a fast marathon. But like I missed my PR by like 30 seconds, I think.
Okay.
But I did have a character stop. I stopped to take a picture with Goofy. That might have cost me the PR.
I'm sure it
Um,
did. And it probably cost you a
and
place.
but I mean, Run Disney, like it's not really about the times or anything, which is the
Mhm.
cool thing. Like people are dressing up in costumes. Like
Yeah.
I got this
Did you wear a
Tigger singlet.
costume?
I had a singlet that
Oh my
was a
gosh, buddy.
Tigger singlet.
Ah.
That was so fun.
Mm.
So a couple of the days I did dress up. I did a Powerline t-shirt for one of them.
Okay.
Powerline from the Goofy movie.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so like it's just so fun. Like no
Yeah.
one really cares about the times. Like I'm probably like one of the few people that was like you don't run Disney race to try and run a PR. Like I was one of the few people trained to like actually race it.
Yeah.
But like Run Disney, like they do a really good job.
That's
Like
fun.
out of all the marathons, like the most fun I've had in a marathon is the Run Disney marathon.
I've
Yeah.
never done one, but I've worked with her a few times, Carissa Galloway, who's like the voice of
Oh,
Disney.
yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I know that so many people just love the races, so I
Yeah,
have to get out
people
there.
take pictures with characters. They
Yep.
stop and ride rides during the race, and
Cool.
like there's like live bands, there's
They
characters
will
on the
ride
course. Like,
rides during their
yeah,
races.
yeah,
The
yeah.
teacups, they just go for a little teacup ride.
Yeah. Expedition Everest is a big one that they're riding, and it's like how often can you say you rode a ride
Oh
during a
my
race?
God.
Like, yeah, it's so fun.
I just always think back to when I went. We used to go every other year with the kids. We haven't gone now in a few
Yeah.
years, but the last time we went, I rode the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
And first of all, I did not know that was what it was going to do. Like I knew like there was a drop, but I did not know it was that kind of a drop. And there was
Yeah.
this basketball player sitting next to me, and my husband was sitting like 3 seats over from me. And this big guy, his knee was like higher than the handle of my chair. And all I know is I grabbed this guy's leg and I was like, oh, like the whole time I was
Yeah.
grabbing his leg, not the handle of the chair. Then I
Oh
get
my
done, and
gosh.
he's like a 16-year-old kid. I'm like,
Oh
and he's from
gosh.
Australia, and I was like, I promise you, I am not a weird American mom. Or American lady. I just thought that
Yeah.
was my handle of my chair.
That's so funny. Oh
I
my gosh.
seriously thought I was gonna die. I'm like, Charlie, something's wrong with this ride. It was wild, so fun. But
Yeah,
okay, well
so
let's
fun. Yeah.
let's wrap up a little bit because we could chat all day, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
I have one more question about you as a runner and as a coach. You've done a lot now, obviously, in the sport. You've been through some ups and downs and things, but what do you think your one piece of advice would be for an athlete that's getting into RunDot or getting into the sport itself?
Yeah, I would say like don't take things too seriously.
Mm,
Like I think like a lot of times it feels almost like life or death. Like I need
yeah.
to like do this, I need to perform, I need things need to be perfect. And if running in life has taught me anything, it's that nothing is perfect. Like
Oh,
things are messy,
yeah.
things are gonna deviate from the perfect path. But like as long as you keep moving forward and kind of keep having fun with things. Like, I mean, like my whole thing is like I believe that God gave us our gifts and talents in
Yeah.
order to connect with other people. Like that's a big part of like my belief, and it's like so I need to use running as a way to connect with other people and kind of
Mm,
like share that. Because I think like the connections we make along the way and the friendships and like that's what is like really meaningful in the sport. So
yeah.
yeah, don't take things too seriously. Like there's a million different ways you could go about things,
Yeah.
and thing like there's no right or wrong answer. Like for a while I was doing like a breaking five series
Mm.
where I would like break 5 minutes of the mile doing a bunch of goofy things. So I did a blue jeans mile,
Oh,
I broke five in blue jeans, I broke five in cowboy boots, I broke five in Crocs,
yeah.
just a few different things. But like things are fun. Like
Ah,
don't take yourself too seriously, don't take running too seriously. Like like running is supposed to be fun. Like let's have some fun with it. Yeah.
Oh, well, have so much fun in New Delhi. But we do have one more question, but I really appreciate the time and I'm excited
Yeah.
for you. I think you're going to have a lot of fun wearing that USA jersey. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
turmoil here in the States right now. There's a lot going on, no matter what way you lean or if you're right down the middle, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I know for me too, like even though right now some people aren't real proud of being an American, but I think when you have the opportunity to wear your country's
Yeah.
jersey and you think of everyone and everything that this country stands for, it's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have a blast. I can't wait to hear
Yeah.
how you feel when you get your jersey. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
come
I'm
back
so
on and tell
excited.
us
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we're gonna head to the cool down now, which is
Okay.
always my favorite part of the workout anyway. Like I was always nervous on the warm up and then, you know, you had to be so focused during the actual workout part of things. And then the cool down, you could just be like so proud of yourself. So
Yeah.
this question comes from our audience and Stephanie wrote in, I've always put my treadmill at 1% incline because everyone says that it replicates the feeling of running outside better than having the treadmill at 0%. Is this true or is there a better way for her to train on the treadmill?
So if you're looking to replicate outdoor running, I would say like the paces will be more accurate to outdoor running if you do put it at that 1% incline. But like running inside versus like outside, like there are just some naturally inherent differences that like
Mm-hmm.
you're using some different muscle types and stuff. Me personally, I would just rather put it at 0 and run a little bit quicker and get a little ego boost. I think at
Ooh.
0, you could run at like probably 10 to 15 seconds faster per mile than you can running outside.
Hmm.
So it's like I would rather just like feel good about myself, like wow, look how fast I'm running. And yeah, get that little boost of confidence and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than have it more accurate and have it at a 1% incline. Like, and I think there might be some benefit of like having it at 0 and running faster because like you do get a little bit more of like turnover, and I think you're like training like your like nervous system to run at faster paces,
Mm.
even though it's kind of a little easier. So I think you could build some of that like higher frequency, higher stride efficiency at those faster paces.
Mm-hmm.
I think like using a treadmill as a tool in that way, like we could kind of like utilize that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like you need to view the treadmill as a tool, not a
Yeah.
crutch. Like it's a tool to help us get to where we want to go. But if you're looking for an easy way out and you're going on the treadmill because it's easier or something, then that's probably not the way to go. But yeah.
It's really interesting that you say that because even like you look at CJ Albertson, who is kind of a staple, right, for American marathoning. We see him at the Boston Marathon every year. We see him at different marathons throughout the year. But for Boston, for instance, people know that that is a really hilly course and there's some really strong downhills in the beginning. And he's even put bricks under his treadmill to for him to do some declines
The
or, you
decline,
know,
yeah.
he wants to pound his quads and learn how to run downhill. So I think I always run at 1% a lot of times because that's just what my treadmills were set at. You know, when you start a run, it's some of them are that's the automatic um
Yeah.
percentage that it goes to. But I think that if you can use it as a tool, like you said, and just
Yeah.
train however you want, but you have to adjust. Like you said, if you're going to go at 0%, you might want to go a little quicker than you thought
Yeah.
you would, or you know, there's just different ways of approaching it. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's good
I don't
advice,
like the
coach.
idea like, oh, ran this on the treadmill, that means I'm in this kind of shape.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't necessarily work that way. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and it's also interesting how many people do incline intervals where, you know, they might
Yeah.
do 8 minutes at 8%, 6 minutes at 6%. They just have fun with it. If you're on the treadmill, it gets very monotonous. So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
as you said, if we can have fun in our training, work hard, breathe hard, sweat, follow RunDot, follow Coach
Yeah.
Nolan, we'll be good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and like essentially like training, we're training to get adaptations, not
Yes.
necessarily just practicing running at certain paces. So it's
Mm,
like if you think of it like that, like you're training to get your body to adapt in a certain way, and like it doesn't need to be like a dress rehearsal of
sure.
like oh I my race pace is 5:30. I need to practice running 5:30 every single time. Like it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Ebbs and flows. We like it. All right,
Yeah.
Nolan, go get them.
Yeah.
USA, USA. You got
Oh
this.
yeah.
Thanks for listening to the RunDot podcast. Help us out by leaving a rating and review on your listening platform of choice. For more opportunities to learn from our coaches, check out our YouTube channel and follow RunDot Training on social. Ready to train with us? Head to rundot.com and get started for free. Until next time, happy training.